On episode 12 of the Rockstar Principles podcast, the final phase of the Dr. Dina Wert interview, 2013's nationally distinguished principal, and what great principals do differently in the Church of Whitaker, number 9. Plus words from our fake sponsors. Be a rockstar.
Welcome to the Rockstar Principles podcast, coming straight to you from Rock and Roll, USA, covering the latest and greatest in educational leadership trends, news, and awesomeness for principals all over the world. Now, here are your hosts, the boss, John Ross, and the Doctor of Proctors, Nick Indeglio.
We now join John and Nick in progress for the final phase of the interview with Dr. Dina Wert, the 2013 Nationally Distinguished Principal. Enjoy. So let's get a less serious question. Come on.
Yeah. A less serious question?
Best concert you've ever been to?
Oh my gosh. I was never a really big concert goer, but I would have to say it was a Genesis concert.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I'm a
You
fan.
know,
Phil Collins fan. What can I
If we
say?
were not, I was going to say, if
I
we
know.
were not in total, just awe of Dr. Wert before, now that she's going to bring up Genesis.
The Genesis of it all. Yes, it's true. I'm a
Where
fan.
was that concert?
That was in Philly.
Veterans Stadium? Was that the vet, or was it a...
Do you know what? I have to think of where it was.
Was it inside or outside?
It was outside, and it was summer, and it was... Flock of Seagulls was an opener.
Oh, wow, gracious.
Yeah.
That had to be the thing.
We got to find them on Twitter and
yeah,
hit them up.
Yeah, there you go. That could be the theme song for this. Yeah. The one song they did. And
Nick will splice in music.
It'll be playing underneath.
Right now, I can hear it. I can hear a Flock of Seagulls song being played.
I can't wait. Yeah, that's the one.
Yep.
That's the one. So, yeah.
Wow. Genesis, that's fantastic.
So if you're not a big concert goer, give us something juicy about Dina Wert. Something no one knows, something exciting about you, or not exciting, or quirky.
Something. Give us a reason for your teachers to listen to the podcast. Something they don't know, maybe.
Oh wow. Gosh, I was gonna say who all listens to this?
Well, we've got about 1,000 people.
We're up to about 1,000.
About 1,000
across
people.
the world, but mainly in Pennsylvania, depending on how many times I can download the podcast in one afternoon. I just repeatedly download it over and over again.
336, 337, 338. Yeah. Oh gosh, something about me. Well, I had a lot of jobs. I always knew I wanted to be a teacher, but in the meantime, I paid my way through college, and so I had a lot of different kinds of jobs in the summertime, and probably one of the most unique ones. Do you know my clam clacker job? Did I share my clam? Did I talk about that?
Yes, you and I talked about it. During the retreat this summer, because we were talking. That was the question.
Yes.
One of the questions was. But tell us about that.
Well, I worked in a Shillington Seafood. I'm in Berks County, and
we're gonna go back and count the Berks County references. By the way.
Okay.
This entire
well, I'll do a
episode.
couple
We'll
more
let you
than
know
before
later,
that.
yeah.
Okay, good. Well, with 3 of us,
that's what I mean. We're just killing it for Berks.
Multiples. And so one of the jobs that I had was we had the clam bakes, and so we had to count the clams to put in a clam bake, but you can't put bad clams in, so we had to clack the clams to make sure they were good, and you had to learn what a good clack was versus a bad clack, because you did not want to put in bad clams. So I was a clam clacker for a summer. A clam clacker from way back.
I'm picturing shirts.
Clam
clacker, yeah,
clam
absolutely.
clackers, with Ultraman.
Ultraman
and clam clackers.
Working that into it.
He probably fought a clam at some point.
At some point, right.
You know what?
There's probably video of
the Pearl reference and I'm sure
we'll find something.
Yeah, it's all there. So, so that's what I'm sharing.
That's
a good one.
That's a very good one. All right, getting back on topic again, jumping back and forth. I have one more educational question to ask. So, in the 20 years in public ed, single best and single worst initiative that you've come across? What would be
that
the
I
best?
Initiated, or just
doesn't
matter.
matter.
No,
could be anything.
Toot your own horn if you like, but it could be a national trend. I know people like to take shots at particular things that went across the nation, or an in-service that you sat through that you could have been with one particular person, an in-service that you had on a topic, something that really resonated with you. Todd Whitaker. Oh, I'm sorry. That was for my own. No.
I'm looking to see what books I have up there. If I have a Todd Whitaker book.
I'm sure
you know Dina's a Michael Fullen fan.
What principle?
Yeah, lots of Michael Fullen in my background. Yeah. I have to say probably one of the best initiatives I went through was when I was in the Wilson School District, and I was actually working with Larry Mussolini. I don't know if you ever heard of him.
Yeah, I think so. Is that the same Larry Mussolini that's now our
Oh
superintendent
my gosh!
in Downingtown?
Yes, that's kind of weird.
It is.
He doesn't listen, by the way.
No, I know. We haven't gotten him to listen
okay.
yet.
Well, then I can talk to him.
We're not giving up yet.
Yeah. Well, he initiated a framework from which, just a framework of belief and from which to work as a teacher and an educator called the Principles of Learning. And it was put out by the University of Pittsburgh. And he hook, line, and sinker, we went out, we learned about it. Lots of professional development, brought it back, and it was awesome. And it's the framework of Dweck and mindset and her work, and whom I love her work. And sorry, we're not talking about research,
no, that's fine.
But just putting learning into the hands of kids, and it was good stuff. So I would say that was probably one of the best things, and I still quote it. I drank the Kool-Aid, and I'm there, and a lot of the things with Common Core are very follow along those lines.
So one of the things we're learning about Dina, Nick, is that in addition to being an outstanding principal, she's also a great brown noser.
Yeah.
Brown nose, just suck right up to the superintendent.
How the hell do you think How the heck do you think I got where? Sorry, beat.
Now I have to actually go in and edit this.
I know. Sorry.
All right. So flip side. Anything you remember? You don't have to throw any particular person under the bus. Anything you ever remember sitting through?
Ugh.
There's got to be a list as long as your arm of things that were just awful.
Things that came and went and cycled around.
Thank God they went, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, gosh, I'm trying to think back to even my teacher days, just things that were, I don't know. Off the top of my head, I can't even...
No? You're being too nice.
I know. Well, there's just probably so many things that that came down the pipe. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
That's one of the ways you keep your longevity going.
Yeah, I see. Sustainability.
Right,
I move on.
Don't even worry about the negative.
I hurdle them and just keep going.
Focus on the positive. Right.
So before we wrap up here, one of the things I love to do when I visit someone's office for the first time is check out the bookshelf and look at the walls. So
what's on Dina's bookshelf? I think we need theme music.
Well, let's.
I don't know what theme you.
What's on
some Genesis?
Dina's shelf?
But you know John, you know how we talked when you first started, Dina, after one of the first meetings where we all met you, John and I we might have driven in together that morning. On the way home, we were like, oh yeah, that Dina, she's cool. She's definitely
you could tell right away.
Absolutely,
yeah.
we could start.
And and let me tell you some of the reasons why.
It was that Genesis concert shirt you had on.
Stop.
I think.
Yeah, but I'm looking at some of my favorite books on your wall. The World is Flat by Thomas Friedman, Good to Great by Collins. You've got Mindset, even though we've talked about that from a district perspective, but I bet you had that before. Look at some of these signs up there. I finally got it all together, but I don't know where to put it.
Well,
Fantastic.
Does it say it all? Yeah.
It does. The fish, and John talked earlier about the fish philosophy poster on the wall.
So you've got the fish. She's got some fish up on the shelf.
Lots of fish books on the top shelf. See them up there.
So, what else on your bookshelf would you point out? What stands out to you? What's one of your things?
That's a great question. I would say fish philosophy, one of my faves up there. Little Daniel Pink down on the bottom. Little Engine That Could.
Yeah.
And I have a connection. I have always had since I've been a principal, I've had my staff do a summer read. And it would kind of take us into the school year, and then we would continue to talk about it. And one year we did, I had them read, it was a movie. Oh my gosh.
The Avengers?
No, the Freedom Writer's Diary. It was Ultraman.
The Avengers, that's next year.
It was an Ultraman book.
Next year they're reading the Avengers.
Yeah. Freedom Writer's Diary. And it was it was an interesting discussion, and I had a sixth grade in my building at the time, and the team was so moved by the action that teacher took, the community action, that we did a big huge project that just overtook. As a matter of fact, see that water bottle that helped two others? The sixth grade created a water product to sell, and there was a whole economics piece with it and a whole marketing piece.
Nice.
And it just took over, and we did podcasts with 4 countries at a time. We did amazing things, and all came from reading that book. So there's power in in what you choose to read, and I really believe in that. But yeah, I've enjoyed quite a few of the reads up there. So yeah,
that's great. That is absolutely awesome. Well,
Good
we
stuff.
like to save a little time at the end of each podcast, to give you an opportunity to just talk about how great Nick and I are. So this is the. No, I'm just kidding.
I think we're out of time.
No,
Aren't
oh,
we?
all right. Yeah,
Yeah.
we are running out of
30
time.
seconds. Sorry.
Wrapping this one up.
Yeah, they are great, and I think one of the things.
No,
really.
Self-serving. I'm just joking.
No, but I think it's important to know, because I think it ties into what we talked about before. And, this is a really hard job that we do. And everyone that's listening to this, if you're a principal, you know exactly what we're talking about, because you wouldn't know unless you were doing it. And so
Isn't that the truth?
it is. And if you can't, these are guys that are serious about what they do. They take what they do. It's about kids, and they believe, they're passionate about it. But they have fun with what they do. And I think that's really important. And if you can't look at what you do, and find the fun in what you do, when it's not fun anymore, you're done. Yeah. You're done. And these guys have the best of both. It's a nice balance of, it's fun, but you know what? This is what we believe in, and they make the job fun for, at least for me. I don't know about anyone else. So,
who cares about anyone?
Yeah,
That's
I know.
right.
I know.
Anybody
But it's
else
a
doesn't
pleasure.
want to have fun, the heck with them.
That's what I say too.
Girls just want to have fun.
Well, this girl
Cindy
does.
Lauper.
So. Are you gonna play that too?
I'll play it a little
Okay.
on
Yeah,
as long as it's
any
under
excuse.
10 seconds.
Yeah. Okay.
Otherwise, it's
Oh,
copyright
yeah, that's true.
infringement.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Well, Dr. Dina Wert, it's been a pleasure.
Well, thanks for having me.
you
It's
so
like
much.
such an. This is like.
Thanks for taking
This
the
is
time to meet
probably
with us.
equally, if not more exciting than being chosen the NDP.
I don't know. You haven't been to Washington yet. When you go to Washington and see the way they treat you down there,
Actually, already,
the way the
NDP's
red
better,
carpet
but,
goes out, yeah. Well,
I'm
you can
psyched.
save that for later.
Okay.
But,
All right. Good.
yeah. Thank you so much.
It's
Dr.
been a
Nick.
pleasure. It's been a pleasure.
Great time, Dr. Wert. We're going to take care of you in Penn State next week.
We are.
Oh,
we
my
are. We are going to
bodyguards.
have quite a good time.
I'm
We've
looking
agreed-
forward to it.
We've
Penn
agreed to
State.
be Dr. Wert's bodyguard, and we are going
Yeah.
to make sure she gets to all of her appointments on
That's
time.
right. That's right. We'll crowd control and personal servants, wake up calls.
I'm looking forward to it. My
Warm
family's
towels, warm towels.
Right, everything. Whatever
nice.
needs
Well,
to
my
happen.
family's coming up. I can't wait for them.
Well,
to
you better
see.
prepare them for the
I don't think they understand.
the ovation that you're going to get. No, you're going to get something that I didn't get when I got my award. I got a nice ovation. You have no idea what you're in store for.
I'm so excited. Do you see why I love working here? I'm not kidding. Yeah, these are. I'm looking
When the
forward
shirts
to it.
come off and we have the Dina
Oh,
Wert
come
on our
on, don't
chest.
will you stop giving it away? Stop giving away what we're doing.
When you do
No,
that
I got the
Genesis
body
concert,
paint, by the way.
yeah.
I did get the body paint,
Yeah, wow,
so we're
that's
all set.
cool.
That's
We're
going to
all
be
set for
good.
that.
Wait, did you guys invite Phil Collins?
Oh, she blew it.
He's got to be on Twitter. He's got to be on Twitter. We can
He's
get
going to
it.
come out. Phil Collins is going to come out and sing to you. He's got.
Oh
a
my
solo
gosh! Well, they did
prepared
call
for
me
you.
Phyllis in college, so I'm just saying. Yeah.
What would Phil sing to Dr. Wert? So she gets the award.
Right.
She gets her ovation, and out comes Phil.
Mm-hmm.
There's this giant hug. He takes, because you're so surprised.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
He takes the microphone and sings.
And he sings.
I got to go with One More Night.
Or-
because it's the first one that popped into my head.
Yeah. I keep thinking Paper Late, but I know.
No, I
He-
think it's
he
gotta
wouldn't
be
go
a
with- no,
ballad.
he'd go
I
with
think
a
it's got to be a
ballad.
ballad.
Yeah.
It's got to be like some kind of
think?
tribute. Yeah, spotlight just on the two of you.
Stop.
Him singing. Yeah.
I'm tingling.
And I was wondering, should I call you? But then I
Then I
thought,
thought-
maybe. Wait, that might not be appropriate for. That might not. Yeah, it might
Yeah,
not
all
fit.
right, I respect that up.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
inappropriate.
yeah. All right, well, I'll think
All right,
about
we'll
that.
work on
that.
that. Yeah, we're going
Okay.
to work on that. We'll get the sound system set up and everything for Phil Collins
Okay.
for the night.
All right.
All right,
Awesome.
everybody. We'll see Dr. Wert at Penn State. You'll see her in Washington D.C.
Dr. Wert, what's your Twitter handle, by the way? See, I caught her off guard.
You did. I don't tweet myself,
Is
so
it?
I don't know.
Is it
It's
the
at
at DASD
It's at DASD, yes.
underscore WB?
Underscore WB, yes.
I'm going to double check that because
Double
I did
Do you follow
just
me?
tweet something that we were. Yes, it is at DASD underscore WB, as in West Bradford Elementary School. So
Bab.
And you can
Hit
read
her up on
the
Twitter.
you can read the awesome article about Dr. Wert in multiple places. You can Google it and get it about the NDP award, but it was also featured in last month's edition, I believe. Well, it was actually the October edition, I believe, of the Was it the
It's the
PAESSP?
Pennsylvania,
principal one, yeah.
Pennsylvania Administrator magazine.
Yeah.
Did you like that picture?
It was a good
Of
picture.
course.
Yeah.
I know. I thought that was a good
Yeah.
picture.
Yeah.
They did a nice
Thanks.
job.
Yeah.
That's half the battle is getting a
Oh
good
my
picture
gosh,
for
I'm
that
not
because
a
that
fan.
follows you forever.
Oh, good.
You'll know. You'll find if anybody happens to try to search me, The picture you'll
That's what
find
comes
is
up.
the one that I got taken for. Yeah, it's not a very good one either.
Yeah, that afro really wasn't.
Yeah, it was at the time of my life where that was kind of in style, so I thought, you never think that.
Because
hairstyle was gonna
2009 was the afro was
the
big.
mullet. It was actually a mullet.
Yeah, that and the mullet was big in 2009.
Yeah.
All right, thanks everybody.
All right, thank you.
Dr. Wert, you're the best.
Thanks.
And now a word from our fake sponsors. But we'd really love if they were our real sponsors. Seriously, we would love it.
You're a whole new generation. You're loving what you do. I put a picture in the mold, and that's hard enough for you. Hey, you're the best generation. Cause the diamond is the thrill of the day. Feel the feeling. You're a whole new generation.
Welcome back, brothers and sisters, to our next installment of the Church of Whitaker. Number 9, brothers and sisters. Keep standardized testing in perspective and focus on the real issue of student learning. Now, Brother John, before we start talking, I'd like to open up with my song about standardized testing that I am just making up right now.
All right, hold on. I'm getting my banjo. Let me get out my banjo.
Pull out the
here.
banjo. Here we go. This is a famous song that is not yet recorded, and it goes like this. Many years ago, No Child Left Behind came out, and standardized testing became really popular. And it was good, because we never focused on the subgroups. We didn't pay attention to the achievement of the black, non-Hispanic students, and the special education students, and economically disadvantaged students, but now we do. Now we do. Now we do.
all right,
But it's
all
not
right,
all
all
good.
right,
It's not all good. Why not? Why not?
Stop. You gotta stop.
Because
We are
teach them
losing
test too much.
listeners left and right with that. Hopefully, they did the little feature where you can skip ahead on the iTunes.
I thought I was rolling with that one a little
Oh
bit.
my goodness! For about the first 5 seconds, you had me, and then
Then you lost me?
Yeah, you're not. You're better off a script, I think, when it comes to singing. You have a fantastic voice, but no. So again, getting serious now. Keeping standardized testing in perspective. This is absolutely a process that I'm going through right now, in terms of just data and all of the pressure of standardized testing. I'm making a push this year as a leader myself to just try to do more things that are just fun. Just trying to have fit in more real things with kids, do more things that make the kids and teachers, appreciate one another and more bonding things. Just stuff that's just different and fun. And again, still doing the data, still looking at student work, still focusing on, the goal at the end here, the standardized testing that happens, but keeping it in perspective. I cannot thank Dr. Whitaker enough for number 9, because it has truly impacted me as a leader and the way that I do things throughout my school.
When you're a school like either Lionville or Downingtown Middle School, if you're fortunate enough to work in
absolutely
a more affluent area,
you're absolutely right. And you're fortunately to work just leave affluence out of it. I would just in a district where the families value education. Not that they don't value it in non-affluent areas, but it's the combination of they value education and they have the wherewithal, they have the financial means to support the way that they value education. That makes such a difference. Having worked in a district previously where we didn't always have that combination and it was more of a struggle. But I would encourage this no matter what the situation. I'm sorry, I jumped in on that.
But no, and the point to that is just to say, we've worked really hard over the past, 10 years or so in these types of districts to where the achievement is up at 80, 90, 95%. So at that point, what you're doing is tweaking. You don't need to put such a focus on teaching to the test. But I go back to the argument I always have used in educational leadership when teachers are saying we're spending too much time teaching to the test. And I'll use the PSSA, that's our Pennsylvania State test. I'll just use that as the example. The test measures the standards that we're teaching. If our teaching's good, if our curriculum's good, we're going to score well on the tests. That's the bottom line. It's not teaching to the test, it's teaching to the standards. So I think it's our responsibility as administrators and leaders to make sure that we're not teaching to the test. But we got to make the tweaks where they're necessary. You know, you got to work on some test-taking strategies. They have to understand the difference between a 5-paragraph essay and a PSSA response because they're very different things. A constructed response answer is different than a real writing piece. But you've got to have it in perspective. And I just saw who you pulled up there, so I'm going to let you jump in with that because it's one of my favorite people in the world.
Yeah, it just brings to mind, and this book is older. I think it was from 2000 or 2001, around when the standards movement took place, the push took place. But it's a book by Alfie Kohn, who I'm sure you've all heard of, and you can find on Twitter at Alfie Kohn. But this is one of my all-time favorite books in the history of education. And that is, again, not written by Todd Whitaker. And it's Alfie Kohn's book called The Schools Our Children Deserve. And it's a book that I've read over, it's one of those books I've read over several times. I've got all kinds of pages tagged and folded over and marked. It's got research, but it's got passion to it. And I don't always see eye to eye with Alfie Kohn, and nobody probably sees eye to eye with anybody 100% of the time. That is, other than Todd Whitaker. But it's just a book that just completely encapsulates the whole thing that we're talking about here right now. In that this is what schools are about, moving beyond, as it says in the title, moving beyond traditional classrooms and quote unquote tougher standards, and just creating schools that are what our kids deserve, just as it says in the title. I don't want to do it a disservice and try to summarize it in 30 seconds or less because I know we're short for time. But do yourself a favor if you haven't already. Pick up a copy of that book, The Schools Our Children Deserve. And actually, if you know me and you know where to find me, I'll lend you my copy because that's one of the books that I'll loan out my own copy. I'll write your name down and I'll come and hunt you down if you don't turn it back into me. But I'm more than happy to loan out my copy of that book because it's just a phenomenal work and really encapsulates this idea of keeping standardized testing in perspective.
I saw Alfie Kohn speak in 2004, and it was one of those. He just passionately believes in what he talks about, and he has the data to back it up.
Yeah.
He doesn't just make statements. He has the information. Now, I don't always agree with him. Now, in certain things, I definitely agree with him constantly. His stand on homework is some of the best stuff you're going to find that's out there.
Sounds like a good idea for an article for us to discuss. Maybe
that
later
could be
on.
a great article.
I think one of the articles I sent you this week is about homework.
It is.
Go ahead.
Whenever I think of Alfie Kohn, I also think about another author who I don't always agree with, but I have a lot of respect for, and that's John Taylor Gatto. He was a retired teacher, 30 years. He won the New York Teacher of the Year award in the 90s and gave a speech that basically decimated public education at the award ceremony. He turned that into a book called Dumbing Us Down. And it's I call it a bathroom reader, and I know that's going to sound funny, but when I took my first administrative job at Council Rock, I bought 10 copies of the book, and I went around to all the male bathrooms, faculty bathrooms, and I put a copy in each bathroom.
No, you didn't.
I did, I swear to God. Just to get dialogue going, and you would be surprised at how many people read pieces of the book there. So seriously, check that one out if you're a teacher or an administrator. It's a quick read, and it's a great book. There's also online, you get a summary of his speech that he gave at that award ceremony.
I'll have to check that out. I haven't seen that.
And everything we were just talking about in the last episode, about the antiquated structure of K-12 systems, that's kind of his premise. But I digress.
Absolutely. Again, getting back to number 9, keeping standardized testing in perspective. As Dr. Whitaker says, it's important. You have it out there as something to focus on, something to pay attention to. He's not saying ignore it completely, which is kind of what Alfie Kohn is saying. But focusing on the real issue of student learning and getting kids to learn. And if the tests, we mentioned teaching to the test, that's another expression that drives me nuts because, as you said, the tests are measuring what we're supposed to be teaching. It's not that we're teaching to the test. We're teaching to the standards, and the test is measuring the standards. So keeping all of that in perspective, and remember to do something fun once in a while. Do something outside the box. Don't be afraid to throw your schedule out for the day and have some non-teaching days. I know that's difficult. I know you're under pressure. Trust me, we're all under that same kind of pressure. But there's nothing wrong from time to time with having days where you have something productive. I'm not saying a day of watching The Little Mermaid all day or something like that. But
Where did that come from?
The Little Mermaid?
Yeah. The dolls and walking up the steps to the
yeah,
recording today?
probably, yeah. I don't know. It just popped in there. But yeah, doing something fun to develop those connections, to get the kids to, to see that their teachers are people, that we're all people that are in there for them and care about them. So good stuff and important stuff to keep in mind. And I'll let you close it out with your last thoughts.
Just quit. No, your last thoughts are there. I agree with you completely. Let's give a quick shout out to Alfie Kohn at Alfie Kohn on Twitter. ALFIEKOHN. And we talked about John Taylor Gatto. That's at JOHNTGATTO on Twitter. And I just noticed one of the titles of his other books, Weapons of Mass Instruction.
We'll have to check that one out. Dude, I like that title.
We're gonna steal that term, I think, maybe for a t-shirt. Yeah. That's good stuff right
That's
there.
That's fantastic. All right, so please take your 18 things that great principals do differently books and close them up for now. And we got a feeling that our next segment of the Church of Whitaker is going to be quite special, I feel, Dr. Nick.
Is it akin to when the Pope visits?
Not being Roman Catholic, I'm comfortable in saying that, but I'm sure some Roman Catholics might be aghast. So I would not
but if this is the Church of Whitaker...
that this is true. We've already offended them by now. Come on. We do not intend to offend anyone. We are not making light of church. We are not, by any means are we trying to make light of the fact that, we know a lot of people, blah, 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 read the fine print and talk to our lawyers. All right, thanks.
We better get a lawyer. See you next time.
Thanks for helping RSP top the charts in the Edu podcast world. Keep it real with Twisted Steel and School Appeal.